Forward that dying. This is the voice of the Patriot, where we speak truth to power. Now here we don't criticize, but if we must, it would only be on one condition: to build and not to destroy. That is why we keep saying we are in the service of God and country. No, my brother, my sister. Here we are not neutral, we have taken sides. Yes, we've never claimed to be the side of the truth. That is why we are affectionately called the headquarters of the truth. This is the voice of the Patriot, and my name Blakk Rasta, Ghana's #1. And this is our daily editorial. Straight up. Today we have a number of things to look at, and I need you to come along. Now the first story I want to look at on a very sad note, and it's all over the news right now. All the news reels are rolling with this story. Konadu Agyemang Rawlings, former First Lady of Ghana, has passed away. My brother, my sister, former First Lady of Ghana, Konadu Agyemang Rawlings, has reportedly passed away at the age of 76 at the Rich Hospital in Accra. Now, according to reports, Agyemang Rawlings had been unwell for some time and was under close medical supervision prior to her passing. She was the wife of the late former President John Rawlings and played a prominent role in Ghanaian politics and social advocacy. Konadu Agyemang Rawlings was widely recognized for her leadership in championing women's rights and empowering communities across the country. Details surrounding the passing remain unclear, as both her family and hospital authorities have yet to issue an official statement. She served as Ghana's First Lady from 1981 to 2001, 20 solid years, and was the founder and leader of the National Democratic Congress, the NDP. I beg your pardon, National Democratic Party. She also established the 31st December Women's Movement, DWM, in 1982, an initiative aimed at empowering Ghanaian women through entrepreneurship, education, and political participation. Her last public appearance was on September 18, 2025, when she was accompanied by her children to the final funeral rites of the Asantehima, Nana Konadu Agyemang the Stead, at the Manshia Palace in Accra. May her body, mind, and soul rest in perfect peace as we remember her today. She was a mother, yes. And during the revolution, we all remember how she stood tall and remained behind her husband, despite all those tumultuous moments of the husband being locked up in cells during the days of the revolution, coup upon coup, the threats of death through gunshots and all that. My brother, my sister, she remained stalwart in the fight. Everybody remembers Konadu Agyemang Rawlings as a woman who stood very firm for women as well. She loved women, and she wanted to see women rise to the top. While her husband was running the nation, she was running the women. My brother, my sister, she supported children's programs, women's programs on both TV and radio. She did a lot to be able to see Ghanaian women rise to the top. Today she's gone at the age of 76. Just a few years after her husband went away home. She didn't look like she was sick. At 76, she looked too good for her age. But my brother, my sister, after the death of her husband, she probably became very lonely. Her children so busy as well. The last one just got married and probably also moved out to go and live with the wife. My brother, my sister, Konadu Agyemang Rawlings is gone at the age of 76. She was pronounced dead, my brother, my sister, at the Rich Hospital where she had been on admission for some time. Nana Konadu Agyemang Rawlings is gone. It is a journey all of us will embark on, soon or late. My brother, my sister, it's a journey everybody must prepare for. Today, people are going to be talking about her. For days to come, people will talk about her. Whatever her contributions were, her actions and inactions would most come to bear. What kind of story are you writing for yourself? The day that you are pronounced dead, what would people say about you? It's time to decide. What would you want people to say about you? Start embarking on that journey now. Now, you might say that you are dead, you don't mind, but you've left behind children. They are those who are going to suffer the pang of your inactions and actions when you are gone. If you don't have children, you will certainly have relatives. Everybody has relatives, right? Everybody has relatives. Yes, everybody has a family. My brother, my sister, if you want to write a certain story, time now to write that story. Nana Konadu Agyemang Rawlings is gone. The very strong woman that everybody saw her to be. Very strong. She stood by one of Ghana's strongest men militarily. And she saw all the threats to life when she stood by her husband. Today, Nana Konadu Agyemang Rawlings is gone. And many are going to shed tears. Only a few people are going to be jubilating over this, because everybody has enemies. Standing in my little corner, I admire her so much for whatever she did for herself and for Ghana. Not many women would be able to stand by their husbands when their lives are hanging on a small thread of life. My brother, my sister, the gunshot fires, the threats of coups, and even jail sentences and even more. My brother, my sister, the court martials. Nana Konadu Agyemang Rawlings has gone down in history as one of the greatest women in contemporary times to have lived and walked our country. May her body, mind, and soul rest in perfect peace as we prepare to put her to bed. Now, everybody's going to be talking about Nana Konadu Agyemang Rawlings, and let us still talk about our country. The country still goes on. Yes, life goes on. I'm reading this from Ghana Web, and it says, Mahama's intervention in PAC. Pratt questions legality, cites history of judicial inaction. And I read, now the managing editor of the Inside newspaper, Kwesi Pratt Jr, has weighed in on President John Dramani Mahama's recent meeting with key stakeholders aimed at expediting punitive action against officials cited for financial malfeasance in Public Accounts Committee reports. Now, speaking on Good Morning Ghana on October 22, 2025, Pratt acknowledged the legitimacy of the president's underlying concern regarding judicial inaction, but questioned the appropriateness of the executive arm directly intervening in prosecution processes. Pratt began by emphasizing the foundational principle of Ghana's governance structure. We have three arms of government who operate autonomous. Clearly implies that the executive ought not to interfere in the work of the legislature and also the judiciary. This is the principle, and vice versa. It's clear. However, he considered that the president's frustration is legitimate and widely shared. Now, the president has a legitimate concern. Many people have had that concern. I've had conversations with Albert Kandapa when he used to serve as chairperson of the Parliamentary Public Accounts Committee, who had the same concern that the president has, he said. Pratt cited a long-standing failure of the judicial system to act on findings from the Auditor General's report. He recalled that the Constitution likely prescribed the establishment of public tribunal to deal with these specific financial matters, which would have included non-lawyers. He noted that this tribunal has never been established since 1992. So what happened to the fast-track courts? When was the last time you heard about the fast-track courts? Everybody is crying that judiciary is a little lax-latter in its delivery of duty. Everybody is crying that the judiciary is slow. The law courts are slow. They do not act quickly on what the Attorney General, what the Auditor General, what the OSP and the rest of them bring to the fore. My brother, my sister, when you go to countries like America, Japan, China, England, they have a way of fast-tracking their issues in court so that justice can be delivered. We all remember this saying, justice delayed is justice denied. Do we remember? So why are we delaying justice? The courts in Ghana can sit on an issue, and this is not a one-time issue. Several issues. For 10 years, 20 years, the judge will die, another one will be brought, he will die, they will bring another one, he will die, and the case is still on. And when you look at it, in fact, this case could have been fast-tracked, but unnecessary delays and all that. The big question is, why are the cases delaying? Are the judges lazy? Or is it difficult for us to be able to deliver justice promptly? A lot of people, the moment you tell them to go to court, they say, I don't want to waste my time. They see the courts as a waste of time. And if the courts are supposed to deliver justice, then it means justice delivery in Ghana is a waste of time. It's a waste of time. When a country begins to see delivery of justice as a waste of time, in fact, people would resort to mob action or the so-called mob justice, which I prefer to call mob injustice, and street justice. You suspect somebody is a thief, you catch him and slaughter him one time. After all, when you take him to the courts, they will ask for 1 trillion evidence. They would ask you to go and come 1 trillion times. Intentionally put safe foot on your issue. Nobody wants that. So it's time for the judiciary to sit back and in fact do due diligence. It is becoming one too many. The complaints people have all over the place. Nobody's interested in going to the courts anymore. They like the instant justice. Some people even believe in going for Akpelakpaji, Baba Tongo. They like to go to the Juju man and get their justice delivered rather than running to the courthouses where your case could linger for another 6 million years. Mahama is frustrated about this. One court case, and when they are adjourning it, several months. several months of adjournment. Now the next thing I want to look at is also very interesting. And I'm reading this from Ghana Web. It's very interesting. My brother, my sister, and I need you to come along. It says, I will be happy to see Akuffo Addo in court. And this is Elikem Kotoko, fuming over National Cathedral saga. I read. Deputy Chief Executive Officer of the Forestry Commission, Elikem Kotoko, says he would be glad to see former President Nana Addo Dankwa Akuffo Addo hauled to court to answer for alleged financial irregularities surrounding the construction of the National Cathedral, which he describes as an organized crime unit set up to siphon or launder state funds. Now, speaking on Joy News' AM show on Thursday, October 22, Elikem Kotoko said he would be delighted to see the former president face justice for what he described as an organized scheme disguised as a religious project. Let me be frank with you. If wishes were horses, I would be happy to see even former President Nana Addo Dankwa Akuffo Addo being hauled to court to answer for that holy dag, which seems to be an organized crime unit that he set up to siphon and launder state funds. He fumed. In fact, I have said this time and again, I truly want to see the former president answer some of these questions. The president of Ghana is not God. He is still under the laws of Ghana. If I can be taken to court for something, why can't the president be taken to court for the same something? Corruption. So we see our leaders so corrupt. Nana Akuffo Addo in office was the most irresponsible president Ghana ever had. Stinking irresponsible. Look at what is happening. Former buffer stock boss. See how much he allegedly stole. All under Nana Akuffo Addo. Cecilia Dapa, what happened to all the money under her bed? Any troubles, any issues? Kwabna Edubu Ahini, Rashida Nasamu, Mildred Donko, Angela Ejay, all these people, are they ever going to face justice? Would we have justice delivered? My brother, my sister, it's sad. Nana Addo Dankwa Akuffo Addo, only a couple of days ago I was saying that I'm going to find out from my lawyers how to drag him to court before he dies. We all would die one day. But Ceteris paribus, old people die before younger ones. And remember I said Ceteris paribus. All other things remaining equal. They have to answer for their stewardship while in power. I side and agree with Elikem Kotoko. Nobody is above the law. Nobody is bigger than Ghana. It is time to hold all these supposed criminals to court. It is time to deal with them one after the other. I leave it here.
Ya waleta matam sanga.